Honorable Chief Guest Shri Rajiv Kumarji, Dr. Anurag Badra, Business World team, Ask Insights teams, leaders and representatives of Uber, esteemed speakers and delegates. I want to thank you all for being here today on this very meaningful day. The Disability Positive Summit is perhaps the first of its kind in India, where able-bodied people, people of disabilities, the government sector, non-profits, corporates, and students have come together as one community to share and learn so that as a country, we can rise up to include our people with disabilities in every sector of life through accessibility, technology, and mindset change. As a country, we have been lagging behind in this critical area of inclusion, but it has now begun. I have been waiting my whole life for this change. As many of you know, I got polio when I was 3 years of age, and life felt like one hard solo battle. There were hardly any PWDs in my school and college for me to relate to or for the institution to pay attention to this aspect. In my fight to exist and progress, I did not become bitter, but wanted to help in whatever small way I could. Where others were struggling in finding their place due to the several injuries to my own dignity, I wanted to help those who were vulnerable. Their respect became my agenda. I, along with my team and my son Akshay, have worked with heart and soul on the agenda of diversity, equity, and inclusion. We were perhaps among the first to start the formal conversation of D&I in India. But till now, we were not addressing the PWD area. Today, finally, the day has come where all of you are saying it is your agenda too. It is so heartening. It is heartening to see that organizations, institutions, and government bodies are now taking this up as a serious agenda. But for this change to actually happen, we need the leaders to be trailblazers. The presence of the Chief Election Commissioner, Shri Rajiv Kumarji, at this summit means so much to me, not only because of the honorable position he holds, but because I personally know of his intense passion to be an ally and to include people with disabilities. Under his leadership, the Election Commission of India has done phenomenal work in making polling booths accessible to PWDs. This automatically makes them feel as valued citizens of the country and that their voice matters. The ECI is indeed a role model to many other government and non-government institutions. I want to quote a few examples to demonstrate that. So now I'll put away the paper. You know, when Rajiv ji took seat, I suddenly out of the blue got a call from him. And he said, "You are the first person I am calling on taking this position and seat." And that signified not only that he was giving me any importance or thought highly of me, but through me, he wanted to learn about how and what he could do for the people of disabilities. We had several rounds of productive conversations after that. And when I went and visited him in his office the first time after he took position, he was asking me, "Tell me, what more can I do?" And then there was the World Disability Day, where the Election Commission was felicitating the Indian deaf cricket team. Rajiv ji came inside, saw the team. These were young boys, by the way. Nothing like the mainstream Indian cricket team. Young, modest boys with modest positions, I think between the age group of 25 to 28. He looked at them and said, "What can I do for you?" The boys were shy. And very shyly, they said things like visibility, pictures next to you. Rajiv ji said, "Arey, wo to ho jayega. You will be in the press release soon. You'll have as many pictures with me as you want. Tell me, what more can I do?" You know, I think a lot of the things that he was conveying at that time, even he doesn't know. They were very small, unconscious acts. One of the boys in sign language very tentatively said, we want to play with the mainstream Indian cricket team. Rajiv ji looks at me and says, ab hui na baat. Then he looks at the coach and says, kar lenge kya ye? Now that to me showed complete ownership. He did not want to do too little, and he did not want to do too much where they could not cope. It was complete ownership that he wanted to set them up for success. So he thought for a little while. The boys went crazy. They said, yes, 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 we'll do it, we'll do it. You know, there was so much of excitement in the room. And then Rajiv ji announced that the Election Commission is going to sponsor a match between the mainstream India cricket team and the India deaf cricket team. I tell you, the excitement went over the roof. They had not, it was a windfall for them. They had not expected this when they came into the room. This, to me, is true allyship. When Rajiv ji did this, he gave them stature. When he treats me with respect, gives me the status of a national icon and an advisory board member, he gives me status. And when people of diverse groups get the status, they are then able to cascade that energy and that impact on thousands and thousands of others. Thank you, Rajiv ji, for giving us that stature. Finally, I want to say that I think the role modeling that the Election Commission and the Chief Election Commissioner, all the leaders are doing is exemplary. I would urge you all to look up at all the initiatives that have been done so that to take inspiration and bring those messages and those initiatives to your own organizations. I also want to thank Deepali, who's sitting here. She has been leading this initiative from the PWD angle, collecting information from all sources, getting PWDs together, leading the advisory board, and taking care of every practical aspect on the ground. Deepali is going to be there with us on a panel in the afternoon, and you can learn much more from her at that time. Thank you so much.